People can hear us now.
Oh, really?
Hey.
Hey, team.
Excellent. Wrong
Brat,
person.
it's Brat Cam over here.
Brat
Just
Cam.
change Dan Cam to Brat Cam, please.
$1 million. Hello, young bean.
We have sound.
Hello, Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan.
Hi, Young Bean.
Heady shady.
Hey, Kate. Check your messages. I sent you a text.
Naif.
Where the hell is the sensible one?
Nathan, the sensible one is not joining us until next year.
Properly.
Yes, well, he will appear again this year, don't worry. We do have our 100th episode coming up, and I do hope that the sensible one will be featuring.
Oh, sensible one. Please join us.
Well, I think we're definitely overdue to hear from the sensible one, actually.
Maybe he'll call in.
I reckon he might call in tonight, yeah.
He understands my swearing rants. That was you.
we did understand it. Don't worry, Nathan. We've all listened to it out loud on the speaker.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are going to play it. We might.
We'll have to do some careful editing.
We might edit the podcast, but it will go live.
All right.
Okay, Kate. Don't worry. I'm not stressed. You can reply whenever you need.
Shall we kick this thing off? It's a sad, sad time to be a Crow supporter. That's right. What the was that? Holy moly. Bad times late yesterday. The graveyard slot Sunday afternoon against Hawthorn in the rebuilding cup. And God,
we
did
were
they
buried.
hand us a rebuild on a plate. I don't know. The rebuild was us.
We have been demolished.
We had our asses handed to us on a plate. And it was just that reality check that we know we actually didn't really need, but we got it anyway.
We did not want it.
We did not want it.
Not like that. Not in that fashion.
No. So, yes, we're going to talk about that and hopefully not in too much detail because as all of you Crows fans and all of you people on the chat, we are exhausted. But before we get into that, it's episode 98. And you know what that means. Before I say welcome to the man, welcome Sam.
Hello, Daniel.
Welcome Lauren.
Hi.
And the man himself, Ben, with the stats on 98.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate not pressing the button before my segment.
Oh, no worries.
Hurry up or I will.
Okay. All right. Well, the energy is palpable. So we've got 98, debut player. This is a way to bring us together as a pod, not divisive at all. 98 was Brett Burton.
Righto.
So
Birdman.
177 games, 1999 to 2010. In 2002, he kicked 52. Got the 2009 Mark of the Year. And as far as I know, no significant stuff since retiring.
Cool. Moving on.
Excellent.
Good.
nice and snappy, you Ben.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, we'll see if anyone's paying attention for the quiz. So, 98. That was all right.
Yes, good year.
Sorry, I'm trying to do my shit votes.
I'll do your shit votes for you earlier. So, minor round finish. Where do we think we finished in 98?
Fifth.
Fifth.
Hey.
There we go. Same as the previous year. We had 13 and 9 wins. Club champ.
McLeod. Oh, damn it.
Prosciutto.
It was Rashido. We won 1 and none.
He's not paying attention. I don't know. Is he?
Sorry.
No, I tune out in this segment.
All right. Very good. This is a hard work today. So, leading goal kicker, who do we think we had this year?
Tony Modra.
No.
No,
He
because
did,
he did
his
a knee.
Yeah,
in
he did too.
97,
That's
so-
right.
Shane Ellen.
No, it wasn't Shane Allen.
No, they didn't play the grand
Was
final
it Darren
over
Jarman?
and over again. It was Darren Jarman.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yep, he had 45, pipping by 1 goal, one young Vardy.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. So a bit more of a
Love one
spread
young
that
Vardy.
year. We had 2 players poll over 20 Brownlow votes.
Mark Rashudo.
Yep.
Andrew McLeod.
No.
Shane Ellen.
Surprisingly not.
Darren Jarman.
No.
Simon Goodwin.
No. Think about the big fellow who's always...
Ren.
Yep. Kind of forgotten about.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So,
He was
yes.
back.
When did he retire?
Do you mean Ren? Did he
Well,
retire?
Wait, I don't want to spoil any more stats you got coming up.
Yeah, well, he moved to Hawthorn for his last little bit, so I can't
that's
remember
right,
what
yeah,
year
yeah.
he did that. But yes, so 4 All Australians that year. So I will give you Rashudo already because I reckon you would have already guessed that.
Ren.
Yes. Yes. Maybe he isn't always forgotten.
Peter Vardy.
No,
Darren
Darren Jarman.
Jarman.
no, not this year.
Not Tony
Shane
Mudry.
Allen.
He did his knee.
No, no.
Wait. I've got one. Nigel Smart.
Yes,
Yes.
and one more. You've guessed him already tonight.
Oh, I forgot who I
Who did I
guessed.
say?
Did I guess it or him? Her.
Jarman.
No, he said Darren Jarman. Who is it then?
Peter Vardy.
McLeod.
Oh,
Oh, for God's sake, the one time I don't say McLeod.
All right, but for the real, where the quiz really comes into it, grand final. So
you go.
1998. So what did we win by?
98 grand final.
Was it 17 points? No, it was more than that. 27 points. No.
31.
Chat, come on.
Feel like an auction.
Why
Do
don't-
we have a 31?
why don't
31,
I-
32, 32. Do
Why
we have
don't
a
I
32?
remember the margin? Come on, people. in the
33.
chat. Come on, people in the chat. We're doing terribly here. I can see Ben. I can actually see the answer, and I'm
Save
not
us.
looking on purpose. Young
Somebody
Bean says,
save
I don't
us.
know.
Young Bean, you had your chance to save
Put
us.
us out of our misery, Ben. Oh,
30.
Josh says 35.
5.
Oh, well
Thanks,
done,
Josh.
Josh. Thank you,
Alright,
Josh,
Good
for
Google.
actually knowing the history of the team
So
that we're
was the
doing a
margin.
podcast about.
Does anyone remember what North Melbourne kicked in the second quarter?
Oh, come on.
It is significant.
A goal.
98 goals.
They
Not
kicked.
a lot of points.
2 goals, 11.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Can I claim that?
well, you're
Is
closer
that really
than these
significant?
two.
Is
Yeah.
I was
that a
gonna say- Well,
significant number?
They kicked themselves out
Well,
of the game.
I know
They
it's a lot,
kicked the
but
arse out of a
2,
low-flying
11,
duck.
9-11 would have more significance.
No, well, the narrative is that...
Josh says 212. Well done.
Yeah, the narrative is that North Melbourne should have won that game if they could have only just kicked straight, and we didn't really deserve to win it. So,
Oh, good on them.
which is good
That
for
can
them.
be
But
a narrative, sure.
realistically, I watched the full 34-minute highlights of that grand final recently, and there wasn't a lot of actual just set shots. They did miss some stinkers, but there was a lot of under pressure snaps and whatnot. So there weren't 11 gimmies that they missed, and we still won by 35. So
Yeah.
get stuffed. We deserve to win it.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Get stuffed.
That's right.
I love it
so,
when Ben says to get stuffed.
Thank you. So 2 more to go.
Oh, boy.
Let's stay awake.
2 more what?
Which relative of a current Crow was playing for North?
Scott Welsh.
Relative of a current Crow.
He's not really a current girl.
Relative of a current Crow.
Was playing for North Melbourne.
Oh, Shoal?
Craig Scholl.
Oh,
Ah.
Yep. And which former Crow was playing against us in the grand final?
Not
Jason McCartney.
Wayne Carey.
Jason McCartney. And we swapped
And Wayne Carey.
We swapped him for Brett Stevens, who
Wayne
also
Carey?
played in the grand final.
Doesn't count.
He's a former Crow who played against us in that grand final. So I'm right.
Well, not in the spirit of the competition.
Well done, Nathan and Issy, who also guessed the Shoal answer.
Excellent,
Very
excellent.
good.
So last now, you're done with the quiz. Born in 98. Oh, geez, we've got some names here. So Lachlan Murphy, Mitch Hinge, Elliot Himmelberg, Jordan Gallucci, Miles Paholke. Jesus
Christ.
What a squad.
Hingy.
Take hinge out of that.
And,
That's very poor.
Tyson Stengel.
Oh, boy.
He's had a big couple of hours in a couple of days.
he's had a big 48 hours.
So there you go. That's when the date of birth becomes topical. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Wow.
Does it ever?
Nathan's already made up his mind about what we should be talking about on the podcast tonight, and it's not Lockie Murphy.
So yeah, that's that. We'll talk about yesterday's game. We'll talk about the Geelong game. But before we do all of that,
Music.
Cool drinks.
we are so pumped up, Lauren.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Do you know what I'm pumped about? Crows. Here we crow merch. Actually, not crows
Not the
merch.
Crows.
The crows could never be this cool. Look, I got my Brat Crows hoodie on, people. They've arrived and they're good, really good quality. So if you're not onto our merch store, we have heaps of new designs, including these Club Classic hoodies. If you're a Charlie XCX fan like me.
Very niche.
Yeah, pretty niche. But we also have new...
I did have to have the concept explained to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ben.
Next week
did you
we've
watch
got
that
our
video?
next week we've got our Kendrick Lamar Drake beef t-shirts coming out.
we might have to do a Crows and Hawks beef shirt. But yes, we do have quite a few new designs up on the store at hiwicrow.com.au, so check them out. We've got lots of new hoodies, and we've got a Ben Keys shirt and a Filthy shirt and a Rowie shirt. If you love Rowie, get onto it, because that will definitely probably get copyrighted or something.
Yeah.
He's about to send us a cease and
It's
desist.
coming.
Generally speaking, the merch that we put up there is pretty DIY by the team here. So if you ever have any cool ideas you want to throw our way, we can have a crack. Who knows? And
Yeah.
I say that knowing that I don't do it.
When you throw us ideas, it's probably mostly going to be me or maybe Sam if I can rope him into it. Depends what you want. Also, I'm not very good at Photoshop, so I'm just I don't know. I'm just winging it.
Yeah. Well, on the spirit of that, if any of you are great at Photoshop, feel free to send us a fully made design, and we'll chuck it up on the store. Anyway,
We do have some special new merch coming for our 100th episode too. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, we do.
yes, very good. Ben, anything pumping you up?
Oh yeah, I got myself a new pair of running shoes tonight.
Oh, you got him.
Yep,
Nice.
I did. So you just watch those minutes melt away from my running times now.
Yeah.
So the only issue I have is colours are a bit leery nowadays.
Larry,
That's very true.
Yeah, particularly in running shoes. Yeah.
what are we talking? Like
We're talking
white, off-white,
Oh, good
beige,
photos.
ivory, bone.
This is a visual podcast. We can show the photo on.
Oh wow!
Ugh.
I literally can't
Jesus.
see you wearing them.
Let me show the camera and Ben.
It looks
They
like a
looks-
rainbow paddle pop.
They look like ladies' ones.
Not when I wear them, Sam.
No.
Not very fly in Ben's
You are the
eyes.
manliest lady I've ever seen.
Kate wants an aquarium update.
That was it. It's
Well,
the shoes.
I'm glad you asked. So it was quite the upgrade on the weekend.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
So we got 4 glow light tetras.
Yes.
We got 4 black neon tetras. We got a bristle nose, which is like a sucking catfish sort of a thing.
Okay.
And we got 5 cherry shrimp.
Ooh.
So Henry may have had some birthday money to spend.
Oh, right. So is the beardy one big-ish or
The bristle nose.
yes?
The bristle nose.
At the moment, it's not massive. It's about that, but it can get to.
Oh,
Quite
okay,
big.
so it might be the biggest fish in the tank.
It will become. It is currently, and it will be significantly the biggest fish.
Interesting. Cool.
But it's a vegetarian, so hopefully it'll eat a lot of the algae that we've got at the moment.
Oh yes, cool.
Very interesting. And just
We
what?
need some photos for the tile.
And while you're there, Ben, anything to report from the garden?
It's been well. Again, geez, glad you asked. So,
Oh God.
well, it's been pretty dormant. My gardening efforts have been. My handiwork on the weekend was actually trying to turn a very low change table into a my height sort of a change table. So that was a bit of handyman work. But there is some prep for
Not in the backyard though.
putting in a
Technicalities.
apricot tree and a Chinese jujube.
Oh,
Jujube.
Chinese jujube.
Is that a fruit?
It is a fruit. So, Well, would you like to know more about your jujubes?
Yep,
Oh,
I'm going to
really?
Google it.
Are you going to bring some in?
You can eat it fresh off of the thing, off of the tree, a bit like an apple, or you can let it really ripen. It goes dry, almost like a date.
An ancient superfruit.
Can you?
You love your ancient superfruits.
You know I do.
Can you find one of those to put up on the tile, Lauren, later?
I absolutely can and have found the jujube.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. It's
Excellent.
Not, I don't make this stuff up.
Ben,
It's
this
real
podcast
things.
has been 98% you so far, so I'm going to hand over to Sam.
Oh,
No, I don't have anything for
I'll
you.
probably
Let's
drop
just
out
get
a
on to the
fair bit.
game.
I do dominate early, a bit like the Crows. We had a good first quarter.
That's topical.
Just fade away a bit as we go along.
That's the
Maybe
perfect
they need some
segue.
jujubes.
Yep.
It's a good segue into our next
If you
thing.
sent the club some jujubes, how do you think that would go down?
I don't think it would hurt.
Yeah, maybe Riley O'Brien would probably do some research into jujubes. He'd
Yep.
be into that, I think.
Yep. So the place I know you can get them, I think it's that Perry's Fruit and Nut Nursery down near McLarenvale.
Yeah,
Has them in stock.
very nice.
Wow, where, what is this?
I didn't want to cut him off,
Jujubes.
but I kind of did.
All right. Well,
Look.
if you don't want me on the pod, I can always.
No,
Here we go.
Yeah,
like I said, you've been
don't start
98%
that.
you.
Not, not now.
Without you on the pod, there'd be nothing to talk about this week.
Well, it is coming into spring. There'll be a lot to talk about.
What's pumping me up is the fact that the AFLW is coming soon, and I can see the back of the men's team that I'm sick of. And on that note,
G'day guys, it's Jess Waterhouse. Here we crow.
Chopper.
Chopper, I am looking forward to seeing you and your shiny mullet back. Please come and save us from this season. So as we know, yesterday in the Rebuild Cup, we got pummeled by 66 points by the Hawks after looking like we came to play in the first quarter at least, apart from some wayward kicking in that quarter, 6 behind, I believe it was. We were right up there, right in the thick of it, and then dropped our bundle when the pressure got put on by Hawthorn from the second quarter onwards. There's not much to say. I think there weren't many good performances yesterday. But honestly, I've seen to Lauren on the way here, and I've said it on social media, like, I've seen us play some scrappy, some boring football, some mistake-riddled football, but I can't remember the last time I saw us just not put pressure on the ball carrier in the middle and just let them walk it out of the mid so badly. And then when they got to their forward line, just letting them walk around and, just no pressure. That's not Crows football. I know they talk about what is Crows football and what's not, what's in our DNA, all those kinds of things. But that was just like something I've never seen. It's never been that bad, in my opinion. I'm happy to hear counter opinions to that, but that was just as bad as it gets. Thoughts?
Yeah, well, I can't disagree with you. I think we just got thoroughly out-coached, really. We just and the result of that was dropping our bundle in the second half. Obviously, if you want to take the positive approach, we had a ton of kids on the park. Our average age was less than Hawthorn's. Well, you see that breakdown that's been floating around online today is some quite significant age differences, but I don't know. I don't really want to use that as an excuse. I know we were missing our two best players. Obviously, certainly doesn't help. I think if we'd ran the game out and lost by 3 or 4 goals, I'd sit here and be, maybe not positive, but I certainly wouldn't be as negative as I felt after that result.
Same.
It was, it just felt like we didn't have any answers when they flipped things around a bit, and they were just getting a ton of space. We just stopped trying. And look, that can be a thing that can be a result of a bunch of kids on the park. Certainly just dropping off completely like we did. But it was hard to watch, and it certainly doesn't fill me with a ton of confidence moving forward either, which is the disappointing thing. And we had probably a few players on the park that shouldn't be there.
Yeah. I'll go through. I'm going to go through a few sort of names, not to sort of bag them or anything, but just to call out just how bad they were and perhaps question whether they should be there next year. But not just off the back of that game, but just in general. Just some thoughts, Lauren.
To be completely fair, I've mentally blocked out most of this game. I can't remember what was happening, and honestly, by midway through the third quarter, I was not watching. It was just too much. Obviously, very disappointing, and I totally understand everyone's disappointed. I bet you they're disappointed. Guarantee they would be. I think Hawthorn, in as a team, they're in a position where they obviously have the utmost confidence. They've, had a lot of recent wins, and they're enjoying their footy, as everyone can clearly see. I think the Crows, we've talked a lot about mentality, and if we can do this mentally as a group, and it's very clear that we can't. I think that was yesterday was the biggest indicator. I think clearly our confidence is not where it needs to be. We have a level of confidence, sure, because we played confidently in the first quarter. But beyond that, the Hawks were very niggly. You could tell they were niggling us all game. They were kind of laying into us. They're cocky, and so they should be, honestly.
And they knew what was gonna. They knew what we hate.
Yeah, and they played us like a fiddle.
Yeah,
and it worked. We absolutely crumbled because you could just tell. Even though we like I said, played confidently in the first quarter, as soon as they got a few goals up on us, we just crumbled. And a lot of that does come down to mentality. Yeah, it was a hard watch, and it's going to be real tough for the boys to get up against Geelong this week, because
that's the toughest.
It's really rough. My opinion of it is, obviously we're not making finals. We weren't probably ever going to make finals. Let's be real, but just let the kids off the leash now. Just let them off the leash, see what they can do. Let's see some of their natural ability. Just let them play a little bit how they like to play. Because what have we got to lose in doing that? That's how I would like to see things go from here.
Yeah.
But I know that's not going to happen. So
yeah, lots of people have been saying that for weeks and weeks, that we should be doing that, and we still haven't done it. So there's just that talk of finishing the year on a high, but what does that mean? Does that mean just winning some pointless games, or does it mean playing the kids and letting them do what you just said? We'll wait and see. I think it means the first one, but we'll wait and see.
Just quickly before we head to Ben, there's been some excellent comments in the chat, and we'll get back to them in a second.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
I'd like to hear those excellent comments.
Would you? Now?
Yeah. We'll go to the stats man after that.
All right. Kate said, why did we look so tired after a 10-day break? Good question. No answers.
Yep.
Not really sure about that. Supposedly super fit, aren't we? So, don't know about that. Bill Harwig. Is that Macca?
Macca in the chat.
That's Adelaide Crows podcasting royalty in the chat.
Holy hell.
Hey, Macca.
I'm nervous now.
Well, I'm pretty sure it is anyway. Probably shouldn't go early.
Might be trying to stay anonymous, but that's
type M for Macca.
Maybe, yeah. Poor team selection with four tall forwards. Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense, bringing Tex back and leaving Himmelberg there. He said, you're right. Yeah. Welcome to the chat, Macca. Josh, they looked better set up and were quick as well. Hawks. Issy, not sure Nick's is capable of inspiring players. Yeah, look, I don't.
At this point, it is getting questionable.
The weight is getting heavier and heavier on Nick's week after week. We've been pretty defensive of keeping him around, but it's just hard hearing the same thing week in, week out.
I think if I can just quickly go on with that just a little bit. I think he's in a tough position now, where he's obviously started afresh. He's coming as a new coach. He's kind of building this young team up. He needs those guys to trust him. And this is where the Nixie's too nice argument is kind of getting thrown around, because he has had to be nice to build the relationships. You can't really come in and expect to be able to direct a team by being a total asshole to them, straight out of the gate. So you have to be able to build to that and be able to give people criticism and be harsh on them. You don't get there straight away. So I think it's almost he's in that middle zone now where he has been very nice, and now he actually needs to switch it and be like, you guys aren't performing for me, and he needs to get that kind of aggressive side. That might take a minute. So it's hard. That's kind of how I sit with that.
It's probably why no coach has taken a team from bottom to the premiership. Is that the thing, or it's something along those lines? Is that a coach is coaches always struggle to go from that terrible side to then being able to take them.
I guess the outlier was McCready. He came in from a 17th place Collingwood to bounce them back. But that wasn't really a rebuild. That was just a rebound.
It's pretty much picking them up from the mess that Buckley left. But
I think what Nix has done is undeniably great to a point. It's just whether he's the guy to take us that next step that we all obviously want to see, and were sort of promised we'd be on the doorstep of this.
I still think we have to give him next year, and hope that we can make the right changes over the off season. To there's no excuse next year at all. Like,
no,
if you can't do it next year, he's never going to do it. So, and what I mean, do it is actually get into the finals. If they don't do that, then writing's on the wall.
Yeah. Chris Mills' text in is taking away from Fogarty's game now.
I think Jack all inside 50s took away from his game.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say off of that game.
Yeah, look, I don't think it was. I think it's hard to base it off that game, but I have that fear overall.
Yeah.
Well, I think our forward structure was pretty weird to have still have Himmelberg, Thilthorpe.
That just made no sense.
Walker, Fogarty.
Well, I know why. They want to play Himmelberg as the second ruck, don't they?
Well, yeah, but that's a pretty strange four-pronged attack.
Yeah.
I would have thought you're doubling up a Thilthorpe and a Himmelberg.
Find Borlase rucking at one point.
Yeah, find somebody else. I think if you're keen to get Thilthorpe into the game, just find another second ruck. I think because it's too much to give up just so that someone can tap the ball semi adequately.
Yeah.
So
anything else?
No, on the game in general.
Oh,
You mean
yeah.
comments? Corey said, yes, play the kids now. Oscar Ryan, Charlie Edwards, Curtin to play a full game, etc. Yeah, look, Curtin should just be playing full games.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Curtin and the lack of play he got after coming on as sub. Came on, showed a few things, looked like he was going to have a crack. Probably the best he's looked on ground out of the 3 games he's played.
Yeah.
Immediately, and then gets sat on the bench for 10 minutes of the last quarter.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I'd love someone to explain it to me why we're being so careful with him. He's a fucking giant.
Yeah.
Just leave him out there. Who cares?
Surely he could have stayed on the ground for the whole time he was, back,
Yeah.
unless he got hurt, but he didn't.
Well, this week we've got our nemesis in Tom Stewart, and he's been playing midfield time.
has.
Oh, let's play.
Well,
let's
Pedler
get
won't be in,
Curtin
so-
on him to negate him as.
He's bigger than him at least as a midfielder,
my
so
God.
I don't think it's the worst
No.
idea for him to just chase him around all day.
Nathan playing the useless players and not the future isn't going to get us anywhere. Cannot disagree.
Before we get into players a little bit, and I'll ask you some questions about him. Ben, did you have some
Just
special
finishing
comments?
off- well, no, they're not particularly special, but my thoughts on the game, the one small positive, I think that was an anomaly in terms of how we've played this year. Like, that was easily the worst.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to see it again, but we're not getting belted very often. We're the masters of the honourable loss.
Yeah, we are.
So
we really are.
So
I mean, it's like we've got an easier game this week,
and
right?
if there was a team we were going to do that too, Hawthorn's had our measure for a while. Even when they were terrible, they nearly beat us in Launceston.
Yeah.
I reckon Mitchell comes across the Crows and thinks this is a game plan I'm able to unpick and do quite well against.
Yeah.
So, and you could see that they could just find player after player after player to get into their midfield. You get into their forward line, no worries. So, if they're going to potentially become our new and improved bogey team going forwards.
It's not like they haven't been our bogey team before.
No, well, yeah. But bogey team when they shouldn't necessarily be always. But, I mean, they are in very good form at the moment. They're, I don't know about everyone's saying, best form in the comp, but certainly their last few weeks has been pretty good. So it would be interesting to see how they finish off the year.
Every team's our bogey team, Chris says.
Yeah.
Seems that way.
Yeah, well, Hawks were almost. Who did they lose? They've lost a couple of games in their run, but one was Port, which they should never have lost. That was Port kicking those last 2 goals
that's right,
in the last minute. Yeah, there was one other loss, I think, too, but still, they're in pretty good. Yeah,
We have managed to beat a couple of our bogey teams this year, though. We beat the Giants and we beat the Bombers. So we're down to just one bogey team now, I guess.
Unfortunately, the Bombers this weekend made that win previous week not look all that good. Jesus.
So, I haven't dug deep into these stats because didn't feel like a lot of point. But basically, they smashed us for inside 50, 58 to 41. No pressure on them. They were 76% disposable efficiency to our 68, so they were able to just do with it what they wanted.
Yep.
And as part of that, they had 222 uncontested to our 165. So again, it wasn't contested because they kept finding free players.
Yeah.
So
they just try so hard as well. Mitchell's just got them all on board.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
momentum within a game and momentum within a season's a big thing, and they've got
Maybe
it at
Mitchell
the moment.
can coach Nix on how to do that.
Like I said, it's that confidence thing, and their personalities, being on show and being like, I was talking to one of the guy that owns Simply Coffee on Rundle Street in Kent Town, Peter. He's a big Crows man. And he was like, I can't stand them. They're so cocky. They're dickheads. I was like, but it does make it fun. Like that does make footy fun. And that's why I wish that the Crows weren't known as such a robotic team.
Well,
I want to see our players have that kind of
Rochelle
fun.
had that, and then everyone beat it out of him by calling him a wanker. And
It's like
Personally,
if I wasn't a Crows fan yesterday, I would have loved seeing that game. That was a neutral game. I would have been like all up the Hawks.
Personally, I'd like, much like footwear going to normal colours, I wouldn't mind players just going back, kicking a goal and just running to their position again. But that's all
Ben's
they
over
do.
the celebrations and the music.
Again, that was the big thing that in the old 98 grand final, you'd kick a goal and then, all right, off we go. Let's get ready.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am very old and understated though. So.
Just talking about a few of the players, and like it's not about bashing the players, but I think there's a few that just had really poor performances. Borlase, for me, looked completely out to sea, beaten in a number of one-on-ones.
I think Macca said in the chat that Borlase is barely an AFL player, and he's 100%
Yesterday
correct.
certainly showed that.
Yeah,
He really struggled. I think the time is probably time to rest Cook. He was barely. I had to literally say, is he even playing?
Yeah, I didn't even think he was playing.
Barely noticed. No scoreboard impact. Obviously, noting that it was a tough day for scoring. But he was bare. I can't even remember seeing him once.
Yeah, when he popped in, like obviously I watched it on the TV, but it was when he popped on the screen, you were like, oh yeah, Cook. But yeah, it was. I don't know. He's a player that I'd like to see stay, but
he's signed for another.
Now.
He's stayed for another couple of years, so hopefully he comes on next year. Obviously, elephant in the room, Murphy. For me, there was obviously lots of mistakes, but getting outmarked by a guy the same height as him numerous times. I was just like, where is he? He's not even attempting to spoil. Like, he's just literally getting outmarked with no contest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's meant to be this pressure forward that we always bang on about.
He's never there.
But he's not there. And he's also, if he's getting beaten by his direct opponent, like, what is happening? Like, what is he offering to the game? Zach Taylor had his worst game so far, unfortunately.
Sorry, just going back to Murphy. I think I was talking to you about it yesterday at the game. I think it's showing a lack of depth that we have in that particular position at the moment. So we're obviously wanting a specific thing that he's achieving. And you think about who's, pressing forward, like their case in the Sandford or whatnot, or replacements, it's hard to come up with a lot of great answers. So I had a bit of a look. So one is we just don't keep his role, and Rankin comes in and just plays.
Yeah.
The only problem is I'd say we also should be dropping a tall forward, so then we're down another forward and we need someone to replace that.
Big Burjo kicked a couple of goals on the weekend.
Well, I said we'll drop a tall forward, not for another tall forward. Pedler could be an option, but he's out injured. There's that Gallagher, the Irish guy, but he's very, very raw, and he's been injured for a lot of the year. McHenry, we've been there, done that.
No thanks.
Just for an update on McHenry, he got 9 disposals in the SNFL yesterday.
There's Schoenberg, but he sort of gets lost in that position, and I think he should be trying to become a midfielder, not a forward. So
Issy, they haven't even tried to find a replacement for Murphy is the problem. They love him.
Yeah, well, I think
Seems that way.
I think it is a list gap that we should be.
That's a fair point, though.
Improving upon. You think we feel like our forward line. Geez, we're a smashing forward line, but it seems to be an area that we are lacking in. So
Lacking depth.
Yes,
you reckon?
Lacking depth.
And either way, Murphy plays next week. That's an indictment.
He's not going to get dropped. pretty much guaranteed.
So shit.
Who do you think they'll bring in for him?
I don't care. Just
if they do
reshuffle
what you
things.
said and just bring in Rankin, then I think that's the best case. But
The role that
But
Murphy
then
tries
the week
to play-
after.
If you're getting rid of Himmelberg as well,
Himmelberg's just got to go to Burgess, doesn't it?
Nah, well, you don't. You just
don't
drop
bring,
it for
we
a
don't need
small.
another tall.
Yeah.
But then we've got to find another small.
I think we lack it. Well, we've actually said this. Not I think we've said it multiple times. We lack that medium-sized marking forward, don't
Yeah.
we? That we just don't have. Do
Well,
we?
we moved McAdam to
Yeah, exactly.
Melbourne.
Yeah, well, that was the stroke of genius in the end, wasn't
Well,
it?
he hasn't had a great year this year.
No.
though.
So back on, I said Zach Taylor worst game so far, but you can forgive the kid. Like that's his
Yeah,
first
that's
bad game.
fine.
I thought Sam Berry went back to being very average. Had barely any of the ball as a midfielder.
12 disposals.
Mm,
Played 16 CBAs. Played mostly in the midfield and 3/4 of the game.
yeah, like right
It's
when you
just-
start to have faith in the guy, he absolutely gets pummeled.
Yeah, I think, like I said last week, I think Berry's role is a midfielder with two classy midfielders around him, two very good classy midfielders around him, which he didn't have on the weekend.
Yeah, fair point. I mean, that was probably a chance for him to stand up a bit, given that there wasn't that usual depth we have in midfield. You know, where he's going to not get as many opportunities. He probably had more than usual.
Sensible Crow said word on the street is he's gone. And look, I'm not going to shed it here.
No.
I don't think it's a big problem for us.
Chase Jones was really disappointing coming back, I thought, as well. Josh Rochelle, as much as obviously
That knee tape's getting bigger.
love Josh. I love Josh and don't want him to go anywhere, but he had no impact for mine. Fogg had no impact, but obviously had a really tough role. Himmelberg, I wouldn't. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to, I'm nearly done. Himmelberg, I don't think should play for us again. I think he's done.
I think if you
Yeah.
keep mentioning too many more players, it's going to get into ones we've given votes to.
Sorry. And well, this could be there, but last but not least, I just wanted to say Laird, for me, non-existent leadership, and he had a lot of the ball, but it was very ineffective.
Yeah, he
I
did.
would love
Yeah.
to know how many tackles Laird had because every time I looked at him, he was doing fucking nothing.
That was a team high.
He actually had
team high
eight. He had
tackles.
the most tackles.
I
So
know-
that's terrible.
I know that he allegedly doesn't want to be a leader at the club, but when you're like the oldest player on the field for us, and you've got no Dawson and no Brody Smith, who you bang on about being the other leader, you've got to show some leadership in that midfield, and that midfield fell apart with him in it.
Yeah, well, Dan and I was talking in the car about this. I don't know what you guys think about it, but was Fogg the right captain choice for this week? Is it a good
In
idea to
hindsight.
have a full forward or a guy in the forward pocket being the captain for a young squad?
Oh, you just picked one of the other 35 leaders we
Yeah,
have.
well, exactly.
I personally probably would have gone like either Hinge or Keys. At least like if you're going out of the leadership group, like at least those guys are getting a bit more around the ground than Fogg has to.
Is that a point? I don't know if that's even a point to make.
Oh, look, I don't think it would have made any difference, but it's
Yeah.
it's an interesting comment. Yeah.
I don't think it would have changed a great deal.
Yeah.
I think it's just about who.
not yesterday.
No, it's easy to say it with hindsight, but I feel like a couple of a guy who can actually get around the ground a bit more and direct traffic a bit would have probably been the best way to go.
Yeah.
I think as a long-term option, you wouldn't go someone like a Fogg as your long-term permanent skipper. But yeah.
And Macca, you can say what you like about Berry in our chat. You won't get abused like you do on your podcast. Do you finish your playlist?
Oh yeah, if anyone thinks any of those were harsh, then we're happy to hear alternatives.
You're not getting too many people disagreeing with us on in the chat.
No, I think it's all debatable, but that's just the way I saw it yesterday. Which I think it's easy to make those calls when it's such a shit game, but
Yeah.
but it's really concerning when those same players that are always in our worst on grounds are still the same ones.
It's always the same, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know.
Having said that, Rob wasn't one of our worst, so yeah.
Oh, he was pretty shit.
Anyway, should we get into some votes then?
Yeah, votes.
You can go first.
Oh, I don't even have I finished them. Yeah. Votes were not a fun exercise.
No.
I gave 3 to Saligo. He had a ton of the ball. He had a ton of clearances. He messed up a fair few times. Probably didn't. His overall numbers aren't amazing, but he did enough of the nice things that I gave him the 3. Much to you guys' surprise, I gave 2 to Lockie Scholl. Yet again, got a ton of the ball. did a lot of things wrong as well, but
uncharacteristically off target yesterday.
Yeah, a lot,
couple of
yeah.
shanks, which is really unlike him. So
I didn't like. I love giving excuses for not giving Scholl votes, but I didn't know who else to give votes to. I know.
Default.
Yeah,
we got him,
default,
Ben.
default.
We got him.
And I gave one to Nankervis.
And was that a decent team he played against as well? So
Yeah, but we got spanked, Ben, so it doesn't count.
still had an okay game. That's a
one-
solid 2-point game.
Hey
from him.
Ben, shut up. And one vote to Nankervis. I thought I probably could have given him 2 just to make my Scholl a little bit
Make
stronger.
yourself feel better.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna make this really easy for you, Ben. Rinse and repeat, just like our game plan.
You're the same.
Mine are the same as Sam.
Yeah.
So am I.
All right, so
I'll add further to that, Nank. Just Nank in general. Even though, again, he wasn't the greatest game for him, I thought it was probably his poorest game so far this season. But
He got in the vote.
he got in the votes because he actually tried.
Yeah.
He was actually trying, and he got his hands on the pill quite a few times. So
Yeah.
that's all we want. We want endeavour.
that
and
tackle
also,
where he just about ruined his shoulder.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
yeah.
that was
It
terrifying.
was impressive effort though.
Yeah, it was good. No, he's a
Saved
great
the goal.
player. Also kind of cute.
I mean, I've noticed that too. Ben?
Yeah, well, I've just ranked them on cutie pie-ness, but
So Rob won.
Nah, Murph.
no. So for 3, I've gone Saligo. 2, I've gone Scholl. 1, I have gone Nank.
Oh,
So we all
Wow.
independently did the same.
Indeed. Let's
and
see
we
if
all
we-
left Laird out.
let's see if we go the same for this one.
Hi, I'm Tyson Edwards.
You're such a quiet achiever.
Samuel?
I gave it to Michael Annie because he punched someone.
Oh, you know what? I had it as him originally, but for the same reason.
Did he get cited for that, by the way? I
He
didn't
got
see-
fined.
He got fined, yeah. Okay.
Early plea fine.
I actually thought he'd get rubbed out, to be honest, but I'm
Yeah.
glad I was surprised
Well,
when
no,
he
deliberate acts are fine. It's only when you do it accidentally that it's a problem.
That's true.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't an accident.
No.
Lauren?
I actually gave the Quiet Achiever to Hugh Bond.
Oh.
I thought he kept Jack pretty quiet this week, especially after Ginny's big week against
Yeah.
Collingwood. He did kick 2 goals, but he was still pretty tidy and he kept his disposal rate
That's a
down
good
and
call,
everything
actually.
like that.
I think if he did exactly what he did in the second half, in the first half, in the second half, I probably would have given him votes. He was good in the first half, and there was a really nice collect that he made as well, which sort of hadn't seen that yet. So good
No,
work
he
from
was
him.
good
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that was good. And I just wanted to say before I go to you, Ben, no one really, apart from probably you could argue Will Day, got Armfield on us. Yeah, it was only 2 goals was the most anyone kicked.
Yeah, Cowshier tried.
He tried. He did.
Yeah. He got going a bit late, didn't he?
Ben, who do you have?
I've gone the unpopular, evidently. I did go with Laird, so it was.
He was so good and he had 30 disposals or something. How's that quiet?
29. No, he had 8 tackles, 7 clearances, and I didn't really notice him. So
Fair point.
if you want quiet, I couldn't see him, and he achieved some stuff.
Did you bring him into your fantasy side? Is that why you like him?
No, I'm making.
No, don't talk about it.
Shocking. Well,
Is he? No.
no, that will work. We'll do that later.
I
Tom.
got Mitch Hinge.
Oh yeah, nice. Yep.
Tom?
He made a lot of mistakes though, Hinge. I thought this game.
Again, uncharacteristically off target a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And who didn't?
No,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, I agree. Tom Hawkes, however, made the bold choice to do an entire list rejuvenation to allow for these guys to develop proper without the hindrance of senior players in the midfield. For example, trading away Brownlow medalist in Titch and a BNF winner in O'Meara was a very bold move. Yeah, and it's exactly what we haven't done, isn't it?
Yeah, we've
And-
never been
and-
bold.
Yeah, exactly. We've never been bold about, ever.
So this is where I'm
essentially.
like, is it Nick's? He doesn't know what he needs? Or
He's
is it
not-
his
Nick's-
hands are tied
Nix isn't the list
by
manager.
list management and he's not getting what he needs? Like, where's the connection?
Well-
he's not been given the freedom to do maybe what he wants. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
that's
right.
what
The
I mean.
argument
Has he got the
again,
freedom or
the
not?
argument or the counter argument for that is that he goes out to the media and says, "I've got the list."
Yeah.
Yeah, which, Rowie, I'm not sure if you saw Rowie
Yeah,
tonight,
that was good.
has said basically, you're delusional or you're protecting someone by saying that because it's pretty clear you don't have the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's clear to
honestly,
everybody.
I agree because we don't.
Yeah.
There's players out there that we need a distinctly better upgrade on. And I'm not going to name names. I think we know who
I
they
already
are.
did.
I think our top, like if everyone's available, we look all right. It's our depth. At
We-
the
we
moment.
look-
we get pretty exposed pretty quickly.
We have underrated players who
Yeah.
are on the up and coming, I think. And we have 2 or 3, if you count Tex, star players. But that's it.
You
We
never
don't have any mid-tier, upcoming to elite talent.
You never want your coaches going out to the press conferences and saying that, we've got this player out and that player out. Like, when's that ever acceptable? And we've done that a few times in the recent weeks, being like, oh, well, clearly we don't have our captain and we don't have blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you can't do that. You meant to have depth in your list.
I mean, we were down. Murray would have been okay. I actually thought he wouldn't have had a week off. So obviously the knee was a bit worse than it.
Every team's got injuries.
I was surprised that Worrell had to go to the Sandful after.
Well, yeah, clearly
formally left.
Worrell's coming back in. So
Yeah.
'Cause
after
his-
30 disposals in the Sandful.
He had an arm injury. It's not as if he wasn't running the whole time.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I was
that's right.
saying. I know he's clearly a couple of weeks behind the rest of the guys, but he's generally been doing the majority of the training. And Nixie brought that down to having touch of the footy. Well, fucking no one had touch of the footy yesterday, so it wouldn't have made any difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Sensible. They embraced their shitness and we didn't, referring to Hawthorn.
Macca says, Nick says he has the list if he means he has no idea and should be replaced. I don't think he does mean it. I think he's saying it because he needs to. He needs to. He can't say, I don't have the list.
So that just creates a bigger problem, doesn't it?
But
It's
that's typical Crows, isn't it?
It
Still
is.
need bums
Absolutely.
on seats because let's just
Well,
sell the hope.
Hey, well, it's not that, but you're also, you're sending a message to your players in those press conferences as well. You can't sit there and go, yeah, we don't have the list, because then every player is going to go, am I on the list?
Yeah.
Am I included on the list? And that it just makes the confidence and the mentality plummet even further. So there's a delicate balance in what you
They're
say.
definitely skating that fine line at the moment between losing the players and losing the fans, because they've lost most of the fans this year.
Do they care about the fans really? They've got them. I mean, 40-odd thousand of us turned out on a Sunday afternoon in a game that we knew we were probably going to lose.
Let's see how many go to the next
and we're
one.
not making the finals.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Well, that's probably enough chat on that game.
Yeah.
What have we got next? Oh, your segment. Sam.
Do we want to do what?
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to break it up.
If you want to know what's in the spring, get into Rowan Jarman.
Good things. I didn't mind the opening ceremony. Did anyone watch the opening ceremony?
I saw the
of
boat
Olympics?
part.
Yeah.
Boat
I've
/
seen that.
catwalk.
Yeah. I thought it was all right. I think that it's copying it a lot online, but I actually didn't mind it. I, thought
I
it was pretty
like
well put
the fact
together.
they had Gajira play at it. That's
Yeah, they
sick.
did. And that whole bit was really cool with
Yeah.
all the fireworks and all the streamers and stuff that was coming out of the. I thought that was well done.
I
And they
also-
sort of staggered it, and they had some really cool cinematography scattered through it as well.
I'm also fully fine with Snoop Dogg and doing the
Commentary?
torch.
Oh, the
Torch
yeah.
relay.
The torch that looked like a big blunt.
I didn't see much of it, but I'll say that most of the people complaining about how the French did the opening ceremony are probably just bogans who have no culture.
Yeah, mate.
Because if you don't know French people, they don't give a shit. I mean, they had a reference to a menage a trois in it.
Yeah.
Hello, they're French.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not that weird.
I think in terms of opening ceremonies, it wouldn't be one you'd want to necessarily go to because it was so sparse.
No.
And
Yeah, I think
it was made for TV.
it was a TV
not
spectacle.
not for anyone actually to be there and enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The idea of the players walking around the stadium and whatnot, that
Yeah.
was pretty sparse. And I think you saw them waving and their flags and cheering to cameras, not to anyone actually watching them in their boats. So
I saw an interesting defense
felt a
of
bit artificial.
how
Tom,
it's
the
all,
opening ceremony is always a bit wacky.
yeah. But I
Good.
feel someone said on I saw a comment today was basically saying that the French have tried to do this as efficiently money wise as possible, because basically they didn't really want to do it anyway because the Olympics is such a money sink. So it's all about trying to make things as cheaply as they can.
Oh, well, everyone used to bid for it, and it was such an amazing thing if you got it.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, Brisbane.
Now cities-
Brisbane had a heap of
Yeah.
competition, didn't they?
yeah. Now
Yeah.
cities are barely pretty much. No, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just someone else couldn't foot the bill.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
because they get to the point they're like, oh, damn.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This budget's blowing out.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, we have to build 5 stadiums. Oh, crap. But the best thing, I've just gone small this week. The Ben brought this one up today. It's very nice to see how quiet the media's gotten on the old Carlton, Collingwood, Essendon dominating the finals, going deep into the finals this year. That's gone very quiet.
Oh, how excited were they when the top 4 had Carlton, Collingwood and Essendon all up there, and now it's Sydney, Brisbane and Fremantle.
Yes, very good.
Take that, VFL.
Footwear sacrificed at half price and equipment slashed to half price. Rowan Jarman's huge half price sale. Don't miss it.
Only 2 bad things as well. Charlie Curnow, the way that he gets umpired, going in. That could almost be a Hall of Fame.
I was going to say, have you said this before?
I'm pretty sure I might have put this in before.
It's so different to every other forward, isn't it?
It's amazing, isn't it? He just is so looked after.
If there's a 50-50 or even under, he'll get it.
Yeah.
So many forwards would love that treatment.
Oh,
There was a shocker in the first quarter against Port. It was way easy 50-50, if anything, and he got it.
yeah.
It's crazy.
The holding the ball rule needs to go into the Hall of Fame, though. Already, I think. It's only been, 4 or 5 weeks, but it needs to
Absolute
go
shockers
straight
last
in.
night too.
Oh,
Well, there was one right in the first quarter. It was like there was absolutely no prior opportunity. Literally got the ball. I think it was Borlase actually. Had the ball, tackled immediately.
Yeah.
Ball popped out, and that's holding the ball just because he didn't dispose of it. But he didn't have prior.
I've said now, it's not about prior opportunity. It's not about whether you actually have an ability to get rid of the ball. It's about the aesthetics of the tackle now.
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah, it
nothing
is.
to do with what's possible in this world.
no.
And even then, it's still random.
Getting philosophical on the holding the ball there, Ben.
Was there even a football?
Was that Borlase one where they kicked goal off of it? Was that one?
Well, there was the
Yeah.
non-call that was it Chol who just had ages, dropped
Yeah.
it, and then no worries, keep going.
Yeah.
It's,
Insane.
it's just, and the AFL, as I said to Sam, they've got all the metrics they want. They'll say it's fantastic. It's sped up the game.
Oh, it's best it's ever
what
been.
a spectacle! So many people are coming to watch. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Yes. But the worst thing is Olympics based again. Channel 9's coverage is absolutely terrible. I lasted about 10 minutes and I bought Stan Sport because it was just shit. Has anyone else watched any of it?
Yeah.
It's awful.
What was Mark Taylor?
Is he on there?
He's commentating a women's sport.
Wow.
I can't remember what it was. Someone in the chat might know, but I remember I saw someone back why have we got Mark Taylor?
And Carl Stefanovic's all over it.
Yeah.
Get him off the screen. What a dickhead he is.
I was watching the skateboarding last night, and I don't know who was commentating, but I said to Dan, they just sounded like 2 stoner dudes in their shed.
Yeah.
Going, oh, yeah, that was pretty gnarly, man. Oh, so now they're going to do, I don't know, hey. Oh, is she going to do that? Oh, I don't know, hey. Oh, she's going to do it. And I'm like, what is she doing? We don't know what's happening.
No.
We actually don't know what is happening. Anyway, it's pretty funny.
Sorry, I just have to disconnect the other camera
Yeah, I
because
was
I
like,
need to plug my...
Are you disconnecting Bradcam?
I am because
How
my
rude.
computer's about to lose power. So, yes, sorry. It was Stan, for anyone that cares, has you can watch Eurosport, you can watch the English, you watch the New Zealand coverage, you can watch other countries' coverages, or you can just watch all of the sports just with the world coverage, and it's just so pleasant. You watch the swimming and there's no ads. And it's just you watch all the boring bits, but you just do your own thing during that. It's so much more pleasant than watching block ads.
Yeah.
Block Island.
Block Island.
What
Leave
is
them
that?
there. Can you leave them there? Honestly.
That's it. I'm done.
It's time for our favourite segment. I'm really looking forward to Pete's Pizzas this week. So,
Have you got that, Lauren?
If you've got it ready, Lauren.
Oh, yeah.
Don't need me to
Somewhere.
pad it out any longer.
No, you do need to pad it out because my phone's not connected to the thing.
Oh, do you want me to play it? I can play it.
You should do it because my phone sucks. We've been through this
we
3
have.
weeks in a row. But my
Every
phone
week.
fucks it up every time.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a baseless pizza. To go with
Yeah,
our
I actually
baseless
said to
performance.
Pete when he messaged me today, he sent it out. I said, hope you're dishing up some plain crust.
Yeah, no, this is my baseless pizza. It's just all the ingredients thrown onto the ground.
Hi everyone, welcome to Pete's Pizzas. Thanks again to the Here We Crow crew for giving us all a platform to yell frustratingly at each other. So I'm going to give you 3 takeaways to chew on after an incredibly pathetic 11-goal loss to Hawthorn on Sunday. First up, I'm talking about tools. 4 tools. Matthew Nicks selected 4 tools against St Kilda and made Filthy the sub, and then admitted after that game that we got away with it. So did they learn from that lesson? Nah, it's only Hawthorn. Let's select 4 tools again, and this time put them all in the forward line, all at once. The Hawks are only one of the fastest teams in the competition. We'll be fine. Well, surprise, we lost the ground ball 2-1, and the ball bounced out of our forward line all night. So to our forward line, there's a delicious pizza for you sitting all the way down there on the very bottom shelf. Geez, it's a pity you're too tall to bend down and pick it up. Next, I'm talking about skills. Poor skills. Our skills were terrible for 3/4 of that game. Missed tackles, making poor decisions like kicking long to Murphy, poor work rate, backwards handballs under pressure, dropping easy possessions, kicking balls out of bounds. Just awful. So to the team, I'm serving you a frozen ham and pineapple pizza. You couldn't be bothered to turn up after quarter time, and I couldn't be bothered to defrost it and cook it for you. And lastly, I'm talking about a goal. 1 goal. Adelaide kicked 1 goal in 77 minutes of football on our home ground against a team that's not even in the 8. So, to the team, I'm serving you 1 slice of margarita pizza, and given what I saw, you'll all sit back and wait for someone else to eat it. Now, we travel to Geelong. Ugh. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Pete.
That was good.
Not
a
much
little
more
bit brutal.
about that.
God, they should just play that in the rooms this week.
Yeah.
That's savage.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was savage. What's next?
Social media, I think.
You think?
Nah, I've got to pose a Crows question.
All right.
Okay. Go on.
And I'm going to pose this to the chat, and you can talk about it. This is coming from the Adelaide FC Discord server. If you were an Arnott's biscuit, what one would you be?
Arnott.
I'll go first. I'm going to say I would be a Jats Tim Tam, because while I can be sweet, I am also quite salty. Ben? If you were an Arnott's biscuit, what kind of Arnott's biscuit would you be? And now, in the chat, if you could let us know some biscuits, Crows player biscuits. If pick a player and tell me what biscuit they are. Ben, what kind of Arnott's biscuit would you be?
Only thing comes to mind is I'm a mint slice with my fresh takes.
Yes, very good.
Oh my
I like
Lord.
that. Sam, I'm going the ginger nut for you. Or
Vardy Magic said that.
yeah. I mean, it's the most obvious.
Yeah, that's right. That's
because
fair.
they are quite hard
Yeah.
and snappy. And
Yeah.
I think you are a little bit
Hard and
hard and
snappy.
snappy.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you've got some little ginger in your beard
I
there.
do.
So
There's plenty of
that
yeah.
counts.
I'm gonna be
Dan.
I'm gonna be an ice Vovo.
Actually, you do look a bit like an ice Vovo at the moment because you've got the coconut beard.
the coconut beard, and I'm soft like a marshmallow.
Now, if you were going to describe a Crows player as a biscuit, maybe let's go the captain, Jordan Dawson.
I need
What
to
kind of
look up
Arnott's biscuit
biscuits.
would he be?
I haven't eaten Arnott's biscuits.
I
in
feel like
years.
This is wild.
I feel like Dawson would be like a pretty sensible biscuit, maybe like a Scotch finger.
I was going to say Scotch finger, but maybe with some chocolate on the back.
I thought
yes.
if you weren't allowed to have chocolate, I'd give him a bit of a Monte Carlo, I reckon.
Monte Carlo,
Pretty classy sort of a
Macca
player.
reckons he's a Monte Carlo.
Oh yeah.
Dawson's a yo-yo. Vardy reckons.
Yeah.
Yo-yo.
I reckon. Nah, yo-yo. I'm gonna give that to someone else. I reckon the yo-yo could be Rochelle, because he's a bit of he's a bit yo-yoing. Like he's up and he's down. He's up and he's down.
What's the worst Arnott's biscuit? No.
I reckon. Do you know? I'm gonna steer away from Arnott's, and I'm gonna say Luke Nankervis is a Pocky.
A
'Cause
Pocky?
he's long, skinny, chocolate dipped.
I've never heard of that.
It's like a Pocky stick.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're like yeah.
thanks, Dan.
Oh yeah.
Come on, people in the chat. I need some more biscuit
My
suggestions.
favorite is Kingston. Who's a Kingston?
Oh,
I really like Kingston.
I'm going to come back to that.
All right.
Sensible Crow says fog is a bush biscuit with butter.
This is champagne podcast.
Yes.
A bush biscuit. What's that?
Remember a bush biscuit?
No.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Google
I
it.
do.
It's a giant bush biscuit.
Oh, I found Rob. Milk arrowroot.
Smashed my face on the microphone. Issy, Venetians, yes. I was going to mention Venetians. I think they were pumping me up at some point a few weeks ago. I'm trying to think of who the Crows Venetian would be. And I reckon...
Oh, sorry. I stole Nathan's joke. Sorry.
I
wasn't
reckon
reading
the
chat then.
Venetian might be Braden Cook because he is kind of a bit basic. And a Venetian is kind of basic. It's just like white chocolate with sultanas, but it's delicious. And Braden Cook is at times quite delicious with the football. I'm going with that.
Okay.
Murphy would be Woolies arrowroot biscuit.
Yeah, sorry. I stole Nathan's joke there. Wasn't looking
Chris
at the chat.
says Rankin's a Tim Tam, but what kind? Double dip, double coat?
I had this argument. Lizzie bought double coats and doesn't rate them.
I don't rate them either.
Oh, no.
Just
you
a
guys
bit
are
too
both,
much chocolate.
Nah, both wrong.
Nah.
They're the best, easily. I don't know what's wrong with you people.
Cook is whatever biscuit is out of stock all the time.
Would we have Laird or Parnell as a tiny teddy?
Parnell.
We got any more?
Bush biscuit with butter. Why are people... Well, I've never even heard of bush biscuit. What is that?
It's just like a giant arrowroot, but a little
You're
bit
from
harder.
the country. You should know that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Crouch and lettuce sayos. Very plain. But you can put a lot on them. You can put a lot on a sayo.
Yeah. What?
You know? What
are you talking about, Lauren?
Because the sayos are like come into six. They're six. And you can put a lot of stuff on the top. You know, Matty Crouch's the coat hangers. Remember, he's always got shit on him. He's always got players on him. That's what I mean.
No, that's definitely...
I didn't mention the word soggy.
Tom said, "Who is a digestive?"
Oh.
Maybe that's Rob.
Yeah, who gives you the shits?
Lucky Murphy is a dry wheat bix.
We're talking Arnott's biscuits, Chris. Arnott's biscuits.
Oh boy.
Anyway, it's been a fun conversation.
Nice one.
Good one. Good one.
That was not bad.
Yeah, that was Matteo actually asked me to discuss that on the podcast, so I was doing that.
Yeah. We like this sort of shit in the chat. So if anyone's ever got any Poser Crows, well, we didn't play the Stinger. That's one of our better ones. That's one.
It's been a while since we've heard that one.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
And we did.
And, it is that time of the year where we should be posing some questions because nothing else is going on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. What's next? Are we actually going to do social media?
We'll do social media if we have any.
I'm going to find the thing.
Oh, you want social
Wait.
one?
No.
Oh, my
sorry.
God.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
But I just wanted to press this button because I just saw it here. Wait.
Suki la la Crow supporters.
I quite often put that on the end of the podcast.
Thanks, Blighty.
Yeah.
We are bloody.
Oh, no.
Just talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Out of bounds on the full.
Just before you get into social media, I just wanted to address some news that has been talked about on the chat. Tyson Stengel allegedly rushed to hospital on Saturday night. No news about why, but he was back at training today, allegedly. So not sure if that's the old sweep it under the carpet situation or if there's more to come.
Well, the report, was unresponsive and was carried out of a nightclub. So
It's very, let's not jump to conclusions. I think Lauren and I were discussing this on the way, and it's very possible for footy players who don't drink a lot to go out and have a few drinks and not really go too well for them. But
as someone who's worked in a pub, people pass out from drinking all the time, so it could just be that. Although I did see some things in the chat about the potential drink spiking.
Yeah.
That is also way more common than you would ever think.
And let's not
that's
think
definitely a possibility, and they can test for what those drugs are. So if that has happened to him, I'm sure that will come out.
And let's also, not, players going out in public, they would potentially get set upon by people who target people with that kind of thing. So Who knows?
Game into
find
disrepute if he was still a Crow supporter, though.
Oh,
A
yeah. If he was at the Crows, like they'd be told, you need to get rid of him,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Like we did. And look who reaps the rewards. None other than our opponents for this weekend.
I think the reality is it'd probably be pretty fucking stupid for Tyson to be doing anything that wasn't just booze. And I don't think he is that silly. So
Fingers crossed.
I hope he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a special something on the phone. Hopefully it works.
Ooh.
Hopefully
Wait, do we need to get the button
sound
ready?
works.
Do I need to get the text sound ready? Is this the sweary one?
No.
This is the sweary one.
Welcome to Serenity Now with Kate. This is a progressive muscle relaxation exercise. To begin, close your eyes or rest them gently on a spot in front of you. Begin by pointing your right foot, making the muscles in your toes and foot tight, as if you are about to kick a football right at the point post yet again.
Oh no, Lauren.
Keep doing that until Lauren presses play again.
Why did it do that?
Oh no.
Oh no, we'll never know.
To begin, close your eyes
Do it
or
again.
rest them gently on a spot in front of you. Begin by pointing your right foot, making the muscles in your toes and foot tight, as if you are about to kick a football right at the point post yet again. And relax. Next, push your feet into the ground, tightening the muscles in your calves, quads, and backside, like you are about to chase down your opponent. Now relax them, as if you've decided you can't be bothered and hope one of your teammates does the hard running instead, which they don't. Squeeze your hands into fists, as if you are going to gut punch your opponent off the ball and start a mini melee when the game and our season is already utterly over and done with. And relax. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears like you have no clue what has gone so horribly wrong this season. No longer care and are counting down the days to your off-season trip. Now relax. To finish, open your eyes and repeat our mantra. We cry, we calm as one.
Thank
good,
you
Kate.
very much, Kate.
I'm just going to say, content like that and Pete's pieces previously make me feel very lucky to run this podcast and have those guys submit great material.
Oh,
so thank
I
you,
love it.
Kate, and
We
thank
love
you,
it.
Pete.
Thank you.
Continue.
Continue. Oh, I've got some text messages. Let's see what we've got. Digger Newman.
Hey, Digger.
Like every other Crows fan, after that shit show, I am now pretending to be interested in every Olympic sport, including rowing, just to stop me heading into deep depression.
Very cool.
Honestly, thank God for the timing with the Olympics, because at
Yeah,
least we've got
it's
something
perfect.
to distract ourselves. All right. Here's one, and I think this is from Nathan, actually. He told me I could edit this, but I'm reading it, Nathan. I don't care, because clearly we don't have any content. Immediate post-match thoughts, and he's put in brackets here, emotion a big factor. Why do we wait until the final 3 to 5 minutes to play the fast footy to give us the opportunity to score effectively? I'm willing to go somewhat scorched earth with the rest of the season. We're out of finals, max age 28 for the rest of the year. Get games into the actual future of the team. Rob is the best ruckman we have, but we need better around the ground to compete, brackets not even win, in finals. We are never going to realistically have the midfield to utilise his hit-out stats with no follow-up. Trade a better ruckman second or put fast-track development in a draft post-haste. Philly can second for a bit next season when his body is used to his bulk, but we obviously don't have any better options currently. Rochelle is being limited by something, tackling rules, injury, or confidence. Something. He currently does not have the explosiveness to be good in the mid. Let him focus on crumbing cheat goals from behind or in front of the pack. Swap with rank when he's back. His win-more factor is probably better utilised as a small sneaky pocket than more up the ground. Our clearance is okay, but never clean. Positioning around stoppage needs work. Wins cure everything, but losses reveal all. Cleaner handballs, wider eyes, and faster forward movement, especially during switches.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Great analysis, Nathan.
Yes. Good work, Nathan. You gonna play this? You gonna play the sweary one?
All right,
Play
we've got another one from Nathan.
We've got another Nathan.
We've got another Nathan.
The two different Nathans?
Yes.
There's two different Nathans now. We've got two Nathans now.
Naths.
This one is from Second Nathan.
Nathan.
Second. I've got the button ready. I don't know.
Here we go. Big Nate here. What the actual fuck are we doing? Why the fuck are we playing tools against a fast-running Hawthorn? That was the first fucking mistake. The second mistake was playing fucking Murphy, that little fucking walking head job. How the fuck does that motherfucker get a game?
Jesus!
How the hell does Himmelberg get a game? 50 fucking games. What, 6 years, 7 years been on the list? Off you go. Off you go. Mate, heads need to fucking roll. I'm over it.
Oh, Jesus.
Love it.
Well,
that was the best. That was the best voicemail we've had so far.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah,
What I'd
couldn't
like
get
to
to the
know
button.
is how does Dan get so close to the button when he's so inept at it?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't realise the delay on that and the delay in him saying the F-bomb.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
very
Nathan,
good, Nathan.
we appreciate your passion. And that's what we like. We want to hear that passion from you. You
Yeah.
can be angry. You're
Yeah.
absolutely allowed to be angry. I mean, we're obviously, we try to stay diplomatic as we possibly can, but we absolutely feel your frustration. So feel free to vent.
I think for me, I still prefer not to go too hard on individual players who are actually trying to achieve the thing that we want.
Are they?
Yes. Yes, they are, Sam.
Well, Dan and I got told
Ben.
off for bagging Murphy at the game yesterday.
Did you?
Well, not
Yeah.
really, but there was a Hawks supporter in front of us, and Murphy did a couple of bad things, and we kind of went, "Oh, for God's sakes, Murph!" And he made a snide remark of like, "Oh, you're supposed to support your team." Well, every team's got their spuds, mate. You
Yeah.
can't be happy with all of them.
It's easy to support your team when you're winning.
Yeah, exactly.
We do 99.9% of the
I
team.
think so.
I
I
think
think
we don't
I am
really-
always cheering if they're doing something good.
Yeah.
If Murphy's doing something great, I'm all for it. I'm cheering away. If a player's not doing something very well, I'm going to point that out.
I'd honestly rather Murphy do well than poorly. So
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, fair point, Ben. We generally try to stay away from that stuff.
Yeah,
We can.
I don't know. They're all trying to achieve what we're hoping they do. So
Yes.
it's fair enough to go, yep, I don't think you should be in the team, or I don't think your form warrants staying in. But I think just getting too personal doesn't help. So.
Yeah.
Kate said every team got their spuds should be the next merch shirt. We just put a bunch of potatoes in Crows Guernseys for that one, the team photo or something.
What else we got, Sam?
Chris Mules, who's also in the chat, said pretty pumped to get excited over pre-season again and watch us end up 15th next year. Wells dry as one. Lord Protector said, what are the odds Teague parts ways with the Tigers just after the Crows have massive loss and Nix is on the edge? Is anyone reading between the lines? Strange time for an assistant to leave. Is something afoot? Well, I think we're a couple of weeks past where all the assistants get told whether they're going to be retained or not. So
I think there was I think Yoav actually said there was a deadline of the 1st of August for that, which is merely 2 days away.
Oh, so it's upcoming. I thought it had already been passed, but yeah, okay.
Wouldn't say no to Teague coming on as a assistant coach.
I really liked Teague when he was here. Yeah, it's interesting that whether is he parting ways, was it Richmond getting rid of him or did he choose to leave? Interesting. Not sure.
I mean, they're right at their bottom and restarting, so maybe they want fresh faces. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd certainly, without knowing any specifics, I'd be keen to have him back here if he's keen to come. So, yeah.
We shall see.
Again, I forgot to put something on Instagram. Sorry, people who usually comment there. Getting pretty slack.
Cool.
It was that performance did it to us.
Is that it for social media then?
I think so. Is that all we got? No more text messages?
That's it.
Nothing from Jaden this week.
No.
No. He's given up too.
He doesn't have much to say.
Well, you know what? Let's get into the Adelaide and Geelong game because you know what it's going to be.
Oh, look, it should be a Rip Snorter.
That's right, Gary. You know, I found out recently, and this joke's probably on me, but that's not actually Gary Ablett. It's someone impersonating Gary Ablett. Did you know that?
Is it?
Yeah, apparently it's a comedian.
Oh, right.
It was a thing.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But everyone thinks it's Gary Ablett because it's believable that it is.
What? It's literally an interview on the ground.
Yeah, it's not him apparently.
What?
Apparently it's a guy like acting as him, and it was kind of like meant to be a joke. I don't know if that's a joke that it's a joke, but
Someone in the chat confirmed. Someone in the chat look this up.
Yeah, right.
Apparently he's a known comedian. Anyway, I'm happy for it to be Gary Ablett because that would also be believable, like I said. But we do play Geelong this Saturday afternoon down at the Cattery. Happy hunting ground for us. Easy bounce back game after our loss to Hawthorn. Clearly joking. It's not going to be at all. But Geelong haven't been in the greatest form, it must be said. They have lost down there a couple of times this year. Ben, what have you got for us?
Well, I'm still coming to terms with Gary Ablett not being Gary Ablett. But, yeah, whew, cheapers. So, yeah, they're sixth. They've won 4 of their last 5, so a bit like Hawthorn, just in a bit of a rare vein of form, which is nice.
Like last time we played them.
One thing about their year this year, they've only won 4, lost 3 at Cardinia Park this year. So it's not quite the fortress that
unheard of, really.
It would have been in previous years. So and Port beat them over there, so who knows. They're second for contested ball and they're first for tackles, so that kind of says bugger. That's not good for us in terms of pressure and whatnot, and we've seen what good pressure does to our composure. I think a lot of the game depends on whether we decide to do something about Tom Stewart this time.
Surely.
He has had a massive influence in several previous games.
Party Magic said Pedler to play with his arm in a sling on Stewart.
Yeah, no, that should be fine.
Wheel him out.
Well, I think Nankervis hurt his arm sufficiently that he might be able to do that sort of a
maybe.
role. So,
yeah, that could be good.
And it's hard to predict a Geelong win. I think, despite our red hot form, we haven't won since 2003. So we're heading into 21 years now. So one might say we're due.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
2003. Gee, I wonder who was in the team then.
Probably Brett Burton, I reckon.
Yeah, likely.
So we got 4 games left, don't we?
I think so. Yeah. I think we've got this one. Then
Bulldogs.
we've got
Bulldogs,
Port and Sydney.
Yeah. So all 4 teams are all teams that need to win for
They're
final spots.
Also, apart from Sydney, who sit on top, the other 3 are in form at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. So we're not winning another game. Vardy, we all laughed at Vardy last week when he said, "Have we won our last game?" And
Port's always
not
50-50.
laughed at him, but thought,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that will be our grand final, if anything. I mean, last week was probably a grand final.
I think
we don't win again.
Within us, we potentially have a surprise victory still.
We'll probably beat Sydney a year too late.
Sydney will rest like 17 players and we'll beat them.
Yeah.
Oddly, I feel slightly more confident coming off a terrible loss than I do a heroic victory.
Yeah.
Well, on the flip side, and I know we'll play Bozza's selections shortly, but we will definitely likely have Worrell come back in. We will also have Dawson.
Hopefully, on the injury list it said 1 to 2 weeks, so hopefully it's just the one.
Yeah.
We can't possibly go any lower on the ladder though, can we?
No.
We're not even mathematically.
We're 30 points and I think West Coast is on 12.
Okay.
So what is that? Quick maths on the pod?
So we can't go up and we can't go down. It's basically...
So that's 18.
18 points, 4 games. Yeah, so we can't.
Interesting.
No. So
it's dead rubber.
We're stuck on our position. We can only go up, which seems unlikely. Did you say St Kilda play who this week? They don't.
I'm not sure.
I thought you said something about them playing Richmond at some point.
Oh, I didn't say that.
So what you're telling me is the most positive thing we can do now is ruin Port's season by beating them.
Yeah, we
that
can do
is
that.
the ideal situation. Yes.
Yeah. I think we'd all be happy with that.
Yes, we would.
I'm happy enough that we ruined the Bombers' chance at finals. I mean,
the Bombers are shit.
They've had a big hand in that themselves.
Well,
but
they're not going to win again
I
this
like
year
that
either.
we've contributed.
They shouldn't win again. They've got hard games. So, yes. Have we got Bozza?
We do.
Yes.
Yes. Is there anyone else that could come in from our point of view before we hear Bozza and see if we're on the money with what he's got to say?
Worrell's in. Would love to see one of the draftees from last year, but they're not going to play him, are they?
I'd be shocked. I have no idea if he played or how well he played, but I'd be shocked if they don't bring in Crouch.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure how he did. I think he.
Afternoon, people.
See,
Round
Bozza's bringing
21
in.
from the sauna. Kids' viruses have finally got to me, so
Oh, God.
I'm not going in the sauna. I'm just going in there now, and I'm going to bed. So what we've got this week is basically 4 changes. Number 1, number 4, number 34, and whatever number Borlase is, because I can't be fucked remembering.
35, Boz.
Woos, Beef stays in, Helmut Hamill, and Edwards in.
Ooh.
And Schoenberg to be sub. If Muzzer's fit, obviously he comes back in, but we'll see. That's it, guys. My apologies. See you next week.
So he didn't have Dawson?
Thanks, Bozza.
No.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, Dawson's obviously coming back in.
Bozza's clearly not feeling well.
I mean, it's a lot of ins and outs. Hard to keep track.
Poor old Boz. Hope you get better, mate. And we'll still see you on X.
I'm sure that yesterday's game didn't help his situation.
No,
definitely wouldn't have. But
Dawson dropped too much skill for Knicks.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah,
I
we've
can.
all
Yeah,
gone
I
super cynical again. Haven't we?
I think the Crouch. I think the Crouch call was pretty on the money. Like if he is fit, he'll come back in.
It's just not what our midfield needs right now.
It's not, but they will bring him in.
Yeah.
They should bring him in for lead, but
They were talking in the chat that the Geelong game or the GMHBA game last year was when Crouch got minus 11 metres gained.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. Jeez. Do we have anything else to talk about? People in the chat?
I don't know. I just think we should just, save the listeners. Like, it is, it's the end of the season, but I think next year is the real test. If we have a year next year like this year, then let's just quit this shit. Let's sell the Roadcaster.
Yeah.
But
we deserve something good, people.
I really hope that will not be the case.
Yeah.
And I feel positive that it will not be the case.
We would like to be proven that us starting a podcast 3 years ago wasn't the curse on the club. We need to start having some luck. Someone laugh.
Macca said, who should we be delisting after the next 4 games? Must be at least 6.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules around delisting. Can you delist 6 players?
Yeah. Yeah, you certainly can.
Well,
but they'll quite often, there'll be 2 or 3 ones that have never played. I'm assuming sitting at the back there. But
Yeah, I can see just on that, probably like Gollant will get delisted. Burgess will get delisted. Maybe Borlase because he's rookie.
I don't have the big list up at the moment.
Yeah, we'll go through that in a few weeks, and we'll probably have Sensible on with us, and we'll go through the list in full. But in the meantime, everybody, thank you for engaging with us as usual. Like I said, we deserve some good things, so hopefully they'll come to us next year. But we're on the eve of the AFLW season as well, and we will still be here for that. And hopefully it's some good news and some good vibes coming out of the team that can send us through to the summer break.
And did we have any tips?
No. I was getting to that, Ben.
My tip is save yourself. Don't bother watching the game. Maybe watch the KO Mini.
Yeah.
My tip is be good to your mother. Ben?
Right, Rove.
Yeah, that was a bit of Rove.
All right. I had Geelong by 25.
Yeah. Geelong by 25.
Ben's like, I put effort into this.
Given that I'll be serious now. Given that we seem to have put most of our game plan on Dawson and how good he is, I'm going to say whether he plays or not is going to be the dependent. So if he plays, we get done by about what you said, Ben. If he doesn't play, we get done by 75.
Yeah, probably. Look, yeah, it could be 30, 40 points. I don't know. We're going to lose. I don't know by how much, but yeah. To be honest, I don't care.
When is it again? When's the game again?
Saturday, Arvo.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
We got a few tips in the chat. We got Issy, Cats by 56. We got Bill, or that's Macca, Cats by 37.
Nuz, Cats by 119.
Yes, good one. Geelong by 58, Chris Mills.
Do you have a Dennis, Ben?
Oh, Dennis.
Armfield?
Wait.
Stengel.
Thanks, Kate, for reminding us what we do in the podcast.
Give the kick to Dennis.
Stengel, yeah.
So we're right behind him, and the Carlton fans are right behind him. Once, twice, 3 times.
Oh, look at that.
Yes! He's the master blaster.
Bit of an unorthodox end to the show.
Well, we've got
Let's wrap it up.
We've got a player who is down on average disposals, goals per game, marks, tackles, everything this year.
Is it danger?
No. And he fits the bill, I reckon, of like an Armfield. He's been around a while. Gary Rowan. And it's Gary Rowan.
Yeah.
He's been the sub quite a few times this year, though, hasn't he?
Wait for him to just...
He's going to come on in the last quarter and just blitz us.
For whatever quarter, 5 goals Rowan. The one thing he's been good at this year is he's kicked straight. But he hasn't kicked it very often.
Chris Mills says grind to kick 6. That's
Grind.
also...
Ryan's been quite... he's done a bit this year.
Yeah, he's been...
Yeah, he's been all right.
He's been quite consistent. He's even like a fantasy possible.
Shut up, Ben.
We've got a few.
Sam
Rowan
did not
might be
make
out
finals.
comments.
Just very quick.
Sorry,
Sam
Sam.
didn't make finals. Dan didn't do the job for him.
Sorry.
I'm in the consolation
Lauren
finals.
jumped above Dan. Dan is eliminated. Yep, you and Sam are in the consolation
I
finals.
just only realised that today. So lucky I had a look because I was like, oh, what? I'm still going? What's happening?
Tom's going to beat you in fantasy this week, he said.
I reckon that's a good chance. I lost the first and second, and on my side is heading in the wrong direction in a fast way.
Come on, Ben, you can do it.
Now that you're the only one left in the finals, I kind of want you to do well.
Thanks, Dan.
I don't. I actually wanted to get bundled
people
out.
in the chat. People in the chat are in the finals, Dan.
Oh, hey guys.
Yeah, but nah, we got to stop talking about fantasy.
You know me more than them, though, Dan.
Young
Jeez.
Bean is sad, so we need to go.
Young Bean, we're with you every step of the way, my friend. But you've been listening to Here We Crow, episode 98. It's 2 weeks till our 100. Big episode coming up. And hopefully, maybe we'll win one more game.
Maybe.
See
you next week.
That's the spirit.
See you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hooroo.